Hello, everybody. Season's beatings to each and every one of you. That's right. You heard me right. We're gonna put a pause on all the goodwill toward men and the holly jolly stuff because today is Friday the 13th. And David, I know you are excited about that.
Absolutely, I'm excited about that.
Dave, you have talked about Friday the 13th before. Obviously, you and I are
Hmm.
huge fans of this franchise.
Oh
I
yeah,
know Friday the 13th was your first R-rated film,
it
but
was.
I'm curious, what was your first Friday the 13th film in the theater? Do you remember?
I absolutely remember. I didn't get to see 1 through 4 in the theater, so my first experience was Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning in the theater.
That is quite fortuitous today because we have a special guest with us, Dave, that I am so excited
Oh yeah.
about. Uh, Obviously, today is a great day to talk about a Friday the 13th film. So, why don't we
Hmm.
discuss Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, and let's bring on a very special guest with us, shall we?
Let's
I'm
do it.
talking about Tiffany Helm, who fans of the franchise will know as Violet.
Hey guys.
Hey Tiffany,
Hi Deb.
welcome.
Hi David. How are you?
Tiffany, hello. Welcome to A Film By. We are so excited to have you here with
I
us.
am
Yes,
so
we are.
excited to be here too. So that makes three of us.
All
Good.
right, excellent, excellent. So, Tiffany, before we get going on Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, we got to ask, like, what initially inspired you to pursue a career as an actress? Was it a particular film? Was it a director? Was it an actress? Was it a performance? Can you give us a little bit of details?
Well, I'd say, I could just say because it's a family thing, but I'll say it's an actress. It was my mom, right?
Hmm.
So, I was, I guess I'm one of those Nepo babies, lower ranking Nepo baby, but nonetheless, yeah, because my aunt, my dad, cousins, mom, we're all we're all in the industry. So yeah, I just kind of fell into it. I didn't actually expect to be bitten by the bug or maintain it. I mean, I was pretty active in my theater department in high school, but I kind of got into modeling as a way of thinking, okay, so that's not really acting, so I won't get like sucked into it because I also was really afraid of not getting like a real career or something.
Hmm.
Um, but lo and behold, I the bug managed to find me and drag me down into its depths.
Well, we're
So
glad it did because
Yeah,
we love to see you in Friday the 13th. So
right
yeah, very
on.
fortunate. I mean, I know we're gonna get into your filmography a little bit here later, but I'm a big fan of all your work, if I'm being
mhm.
honest. So Dave,
Thank you.
I can't imagine there is someone listening right now that needs to hear this news. But let us know what give us the background on Friday the 13th, a new beginning. What is this one about?
So just when you thought it was over, he is back in a new beginning. Tommy Jarvis was never able to officially get over the death of his mother in the attack of Jason Voorhees, so now he finds himself arriving at Pinehurst, a youth development center. It is here that Tommy joins others who are struggling with their own mental health issues. Tommy does his best to fit in and do his part to try and get back to himself so he can rejoin society. But once again, people start dying around him and the nightmares begin repeating itself. It seems the terror himself is back, Jason Voorhees, and no one is safe.
Wait a second. David, is your real name Chat GPT?
No.
Tiffany, I'll tell
Wait
you
a
right now,
second.
if you catch any of our episodes where Dave is with us, he is a very talented writer, a very talented speaker and director. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
writes some good he writes synopses that are better than what you'd read on the back of the box.
Thank
That
you.
was
Um,
great.
Thank you.
Who needs to see the movie?
Right. Tiffany, I know we talked about Friday the 13th. We love Friday the 13th. And as I said, this is my first film that of Friday the 13th that I saw in the theater. So tell me a little bit about the audition process for this film. Was there a specific scene that you had read for?
I get asked stuff like this, and I don't, I mean, because it was a while ago. What are we, 35 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Um, so no, I don't remember. What I do remember is that the breakdown for it was for this Pat Benatar new wave type,
Hmm.
right? I think it was prior to when Love is a Battlefield came out, and she was with the crazy hair and outfits. Um, but my agent at the time was getting kind of desperate for stuff to send me in on,
Hmm.
because I had gone way off of, my little cookie cutter blonde self,
Hmm.
and was really just doing my own thing looks wise, style wise. So I think he was just looking for anything to send me in that was like slightly like, oh, new wave, oh, punk, like even if it was Hollywood's idea of what that was. So I think he just, it's like throwing the spaghetti against the wall and hoping something will stick. And they
Right.
wanted to see me, right? And
Hmm.
I was not of the body type that they were looking for.
Sure.
And I think I even made up some story like that I had gained weight for a role or something like that, which was not true. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't remember what the scene. I mean, Violet, she's there throughout the film,
Hmm.
but there aren't a whole lot of speaking scenes. So it was probably, I would imagine, that breakfast scene that was read. I'm guessing. They
Nice.
don't. I don't think they didn't have me do a death scene,
Okay.
right?
Well,
So, but
I
I
can definitely
probably
tell
that
you
breakfast scene.
breakfast scene. Yeah, I can definitely tell you
I would imagine.
one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the laundry scene where you and Robin
Yes.
are hanging
Piss
the clothes.
off.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
and Joey's obviously wanting you to, can you can have half my candy bar if you want. I
Yeah.
just want to help you. Yeah, no, that didn't go over very well, did
No. But
it?
yeah, I like the scene, and they use that scene in Fire with Fire,
Hmm.
right? I ended up getting these little bizarre residuals from them using that particular scene that's in the background in Fire with Fire. I've seen parts of Fire with Fire. I haven't, have you guys seen the whole thing?
I
I
have
can
not.
tell you, we actually a while back we covered Fire with Fire on our Patreon for our subscribers,
Wow. There you go.
and we kind of spoke about the whole Friday the 13th, A New Beginning connection because it is right there, plain as day. They're not,
Is
and
it?
I know it's a Paramount, well, Fire with Fire, I know it's a Paramount movie as well, but I was surprised at how much they were showing of the film because the kids, they get the girls from the convent and the boys from the prison camp, they get to go to the theater and they're watching Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. And the laundry scene, well, it starts off, they kind of show some scenes in reverse because they show Jason going after Pam in the barn with Reggie. And then when the kids come back into the theater, it's Violet's scene doing laundry with Joey.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that. I thought it was just like, how there'll be scenes with something on TV that's just kind of, and I was like, God, that's really a random, weird, specific scene to pick. But I didn't realize they're seeing like the whole movie. I'll have to
yeah,
watch it now.
yeah, I would check it out because it is prominently your scene is prominently featured
That's so
in Fire
funny.
with Fire. So if you're wondering about
Interesting.
those residual checks, I think
Yeah,
that's
well, I
might
mean,
maybe that's
now
where they're
it's,
coming from. Yeah.
but they were like, I mean, they were really small and random. But at first they were actually pretty decent. I was like, oh, well, that's one way to make a living, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Violet, I'm wondering about the background. If the director was if there was any information given about her, or did you get to create Violet in a sense? When I always wonder like how did she end up at Pinehurst Halfway House?
Well, I mean, I created that Violet character. I think, Danny, when he cast me, he kind of just then got out of the way, right? And let me do what I need to do. And wardrobe was great. They took me out shopping, basically told me, pick out what you want, which is just like, woo. Um, yeah, and it's, and my hair was done like that, but I think that they paid for me to go to a hairdresser and really get it like super, super sharp. Um, because I think it was a little like DIY, as I recall.
Hmm.
And then we got it really nice looking. Yeah, I just saw her as like the troubled teen and
Hmm.
probably, some violent outbursts. But the choice that I made too when Joey's killed was to go very opposite, kind of go inward. So, I never really gave her the specific diagnosis, not like the method actor where I'm like, oh, and what happened? I was locked in a closet, when I was 3 years old, and nothing like that. I just saw her as this troubled teen. She probably got into drugs. She probably was caught like stealing stuff and
Hmm.
just doing like bored teenager with too much time on their hands and no direction kind of stuff. Probably got into a few scraps. And the choice I made with her going really quiet and rocking is kind of the opposite of that, where she's kind of overriding any violent tendencies or freaking out. That's her way of, I mean, that's, with kids that rock, it's a way of self-soothing.
Hmm.
So I went with that because I didn't want to try and like do a competition with Juliet for that scream. She kind of owned the scream. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna go into that field. I'll do something different.
Well, it's funny that you mention it that way. I can see that now, with her character. Everything you said, it really does come off on screen that way when you look at her, and how she presents herself. So well done with that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and it's like the sorry thing. It's
Hmm.
like it's being pushed because it's like, yeah, like I said I was sorry, and that like comeback from him is one of those little like push things. And
Hmm.
like, dude, I don't want to have to kick your ass, but I've been known to do it. So like back down. I said I was sorry.
Right. Wait, it's always nice to hear directors that give a little bit of a freedom to their
Yeah.
actors to pull that stuff off. I try to
Yeah.
do those things when I'm directing things. Nothing on this kind of budget, believe me, it's all small scale. But I try to give freedom to my actors because it makes them involved. It helps them on screen because they're the ones who help create that, so they're going to put more into it. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. And you got to trust the director too.
Hmm.
Um, that has the wide vision. So it's a mutual relationship.
Right.
You each have to trust each other.
Exactly.
But because, well, I mean, like in OC and Sticks, there's the classic example where it really like turned into what's the story of all the little kids running, and it got a little Lord of the Flies on OC and Sticks. So the director also like hopefully will be able to reel the actors back in if they start getting a little too
Hmm.
out there, right?
Right.
And
Right.
vice versa. That if the director starts getting a little too whip cracking, they can to be like, remember you hired me for a reason. So
Right. But let me work here, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, tell me a little bit about the filming location. Was that actual location or was any of that on a studio?
No, that was it was up like towards Magic Mountain. That's all I remember. So north of LA.
Oh, okay.
What I want to say like an hour north of LA. It was
Hmm.
it was a little bit of a drive out there. But yeah, it was at this little like it doubled as kind of a farm, was orange orchard.
Okay.
So yeah, the little house that was there, and it was all shot there.
Interesting. I always love it when they
Yeah,
use real locations.
yeah,
You just get that vibe when it's,
yeah,
tangible. I like that. Absolutely.
definitely.
How many days were you there on set?
I don't know. I was there quite a bit when I didn't shoot, and I remember
Mm,
being on there for Halloween. Like Halloween was not a work day for me, but I went out there. Juliet and I were both out there, and makeup. We did our makeup together. Like the makeup lady, we did makeup and did pictures, and I just wanted to be on that set. I'm like, I have to be on that set for on Halloween.
absolutely.
Um, so yeah, I don't remember how many days it was. I remember the death scene was overtime though. I remember it was a late night and I was just like, oh, because they had to reshoot the whole thing. And I was just like, I was really tired.
Oh
I
gosh.
remember being really tired. And it went really late, but I don't remember how long.
Night
The
scenes are the worst, aren't they?
they can go long. They
Yeah.
can go long, yeah.
I've been involved with a few of those, and I know it can be rough on everybody. So I know the
Yeah.
struggles of that for sure.
Yeah. And you're kind of like, I don't want any more coffee, thank you. Just and trying to be authentic and being like tired and wired at the same time. It's hard.
Right. Well,
But
you couldn't see that on screen, so you did well.
yeah, it looked it played, didn't it?
Yep, sure did.
With regard to Juliet Cummings, who you've mentioned, were there any fun or fond memories on the set that you can share with us about the cast, about the crew?
Um, well, I mean, Juliet and I were friends on and off screen. Like we hung out. We used to drive in together a lot. Um, but yeah, and I mean, I've shared this story so many times, but yeah, I mean, I remember going through those orange orchards, and Tom Morga a couple of times would like to hide and jump out from the trees and scare us. Um, but yeah,
I have to
yeah.
ask, like, was he doing this in costume or just out, just as
No,
Tom?
I mean, I think it's Tom, but I mean, it's like he had his flight suit on, didn't have the mask and all that, but just to be
That's
cheeky.
that's hysterical. Well done, Tom.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Tom.
Tom is awesome. I got to do a couple cons with him, and yeah, super cool guy.
Very nice. So I've got to ask you, going into this, because I know sometimes they hide things from actors on the script, so they aren't aware of things that are going on. So were you and the co-stars aware of the twist involving the killer's identity?
Oh yeah, I mean, we read the script,
Okay.
so yeah, there was nothing. I mean, the only time we didn't know that it was a Friday the 13th was the original auditions.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, you figure it out pretty quickly when you're like, oh, guy, hockey mask. Okay, got it. Yeah,
Got it.
so we knew it. All we just yeah, as soon as we have that script, but we didn't get the script until like offers were made, right?
Right.
We just they cast off of reading scenes. I mean, I don't know about everybody else. Maybe for Melanie's part or something, they had her look at the whole script before they cast her.
Hmm.
But for the supporting roles, yeah, it was cast off of just sides from the script, not the whole script.
Tiffany, you have one of the more iconic death scenes in a Friday the 13th film. We've got a banging song by Pseudo Echo. We've got one of Jason's scariest scene entrances, probably. And there's some damn good dancing here. Uh,
Yep.
Yeah.
we got to talk about it a little bit. When
Okay.
you pull up the clip of Violet's dance where Jason comes in and after her, there are hundreds of comments on that YouTube video, people calling out how incredible the dancing is.
Hmm.
There's a big uh, there's a big section of the fan base that has a strong opinion that your character should have lived. It should have been one of the final girls. What's your reaction to all the love for Violet?
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, that's those people are the people that come to my table at conventions and want to talk and, bring stuff to sign and things like that. Um, but yeah, it's great. And I mean, I understand the wanting Violet to be the final girl because she wasn't doing any of the typical slasher movie, you know,
No.
death, like would be soon to be victim stuff. She wasn't having sex. She
Mhm.
wasn't doing
Yeah,
drugs, just dancing in a room. Um, so I understand that, but we all know Melanie did a fine, fine job as the final girl anyway.
she
So
did.
She
all
did.
good. Um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said no if they had asked me. I'd be like, yeah, I'll join in. I'd hop in there with her and Reggie. Um, but yeah, it's great. The fans are awesome. It's really like crazy phenomenon. Do you guys go to conventions?
We do. Hmm.
All the time.
They're
They are.
So
amazing, right?
They are.
Like the
They are.
horror
yes.
fans, and I've heard it said too that like the Comic-Con fans are a different breed, more serious or something. But
Yeah.
the horror fans are these super just warm, um, kind of like introverted and just,
Hmm.
um, just really cool people. So
They
I mean,
are.
I've gotten a few that are like, yeah, you need to back off. You're taking that shit a little too seriously.
Right.
But really, with the amount of people that come into those shows and how many of them have been kind of creepers,
Mm.
it's pretty amazing. Um, just about everybody's really cool there. So it's yeah, and it just seems to get more and more popular. It's crazy.
It does. Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, we're based on the East Coast, and two of the largest horror conventions happen on the East Coast, which we're kind of fixtures at ourselves. Talking about Horror Hound in Cincinnati, Ohio, and then
Right
Scarefest
on.
in Lexington, Kentucky. And I implore you, Tiffany, we got to get you out to one or both of these.
Yeah, well, I think I
Yes.
did a Horror Hound way back when, and my mom just did a Horror Hound.
She
Oh,
was just in town.
She was
yeah.
just in town.
Talking, of course, about Brooke.
Yep.
I think she was doing a lot like the panel, the whole Nightmare on Elm Street 3 panel, if
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys are in with the promoters, please put in a good word. And yeah, I would love to do both of those shows. And then also when we get around to talking about current projects, we definitely want to get the Catnip
Oh,
crew, the
yes.
Oh,
cast and director out on the convention circuit just before we release it and maybe after. So
Yeah.
believe me,
things to think
we are
about.
definitely excited to talk about that one.
Yes, we
But
are.
before we move away from this iconic scene, we know you study dance with Roland Dupree. Is that correct?
I love answering this question. Nope, didn't.
Nope.
What I
You
Oh,
didn't?
did
okay.
was I studied at the Roland Dupre Dance Academy.
Okay.
Okay.
So this goes back to early things that actors do with their resume. Well, I mean, I think everybody does it when they're just
Mhm.
starting out on something, embellish your resume. You don't want to lie,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
but definitely embellish and pump up like things that you've done. So that was a thing. Like I did study at Roland Dupre Dance Studio. So tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
It works. It
So
works.
Yeah, it
So
does.
the dance in
yes,
question though, was this all you
that
improvising?
was all me. That was actually, it goes
Nice.
back to a club that I went to back when there was the teen clubs, the all ages, no alcohol dance
Hmm.
clubs, which was a huge thing in late 70s, early 80s. And this was the Odyssey in West Hollywood. And awesome club. And they had New Wave Night. And that was when, I mean, I sometimes went to the other nights too, but New Wave Night was the one. And there was a guy, we had these like, there was the dance floor, but then there's these podiums, right? And there was this guy up there doing this dance to, remember Send Me an Angel, real
Oh,
life?
yeah.
Yep.
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 And he's Send Me an Angel. So he's doing
Re-
this
it-
whole like,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, he's amazing. And the dance is amazing. And anyway, I got to know this guy. He actually ended up moving in with me. That's how seriously I take this dance stuff.
All right.
No, but he was a real jerk. He was a
Mm.
horrible, he ended up being a really horrible person. But I did learn that dance. And I actually, and this was before I even got connected with him, but it's like I saw him, and there were a couple people at the club who did the dance to different songs. And I went home and practiced in a mirror until I got it right. And then launched it at the club and had my own little crowd of people watching it. But I had never done it like that wasn't a song that they played at the club. I did the dance to a lot of different songs, like Living in Video was my number one. You remember Transx, Living in
Mm-hmm.
Video?
Transacts. Yep.
Okay. The Chauffeur, Duran Duran,
Yep.
Thompson Twins. Like I had a few that I did that dance to, Love Cats. Um, but uh yeah, with the Friday the 13th, they I mean, they needed the song for that scene, and they needed a song that wasn't super popular, wouldn't be hard to get the rights to.
Right.
And Pseudo Echo was pretty much unheard of at the time. I played the grooves out of that vinyl.
Hmm.
But it was mostly the alternative crowd that was playing that. So that song seemed to work perfectly for that dance,
It does.
right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's perfect.
It
Yeah.
just like it was movie magic where it just
Mhm.
everything synced up. And I think Danny was thrilled with it all because I think I probably offered them a few songs. And at that time I was listening to just a lot more just the goth stuff. I was Sisters of Mercy, Bauhaus,
Mm.
Susie and the Banshees, those, but they couldn't get rights to any of those.
Of course.
Pseudo Echo, they could get rights to.
And you got to go with what you can get. So
That's right.
absolutely.
And
it worked out great.
worked so well. It worked
Yeah.
better probably than anything. Although a friend of mine started this page on Facebook, an offshoot of Violet from Friday the 13th dancing to these various songs. And he's
Oh,
it's
no.
oh, you
no.
gotta check out this site.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta share that
really
with us, please.
good.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
what's
for
the
sure.
what's the
It's
what's the Facebook
Facebook.
page?
It's
Okay.
Facebook. So it's yeah, he's having so much fun with it, and he takes requests.
Oh, I got to see this.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just a baby page. He like I think he just started it for the past Friday the 13th. The same video of Violet from Friday the 13th dancing to other songs.
We will absolutely find that and put that in the show notes so that our
Yeah,
listeners
yes,
can check
we
that
will.
out.
It's pretty cool. And there's so many that work really, really well. I had some goofy ones. I had like Salt and Peppa's Push It, which works perfectly. Like there's some that are really funny. Yeah, he did Roxy. He just put Roxy music, Susie and the Banshees, Violent Femmes, Specimen.
Nice.
So he's got a whole bunch of them. Nick Cave. Yeah, it's fun.
Definitely going to check that out. That's for sure. Looking at that scene now, I'm going to look at it completely different now from going forward, knowing all the work that you put in it, and that was your dance. I love that. And now I'm going to look at it completely different in watching that movie. So well done.
Well, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
and prior to that, when they said that I would be dancing, I was too shy. Again, we talk about, I just worked with coaching a fellow actor about making big choices and being committed to big choices. Like don't do them half-assed. And when I was first, you see in the beginning of that scene in the film that I'm doing this kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
And that's what I thought that when they changed it from doing exercises in my room to dancing in my room, that's what I thought. Like they'll want me to do that. They would never want me to do what I do in clubs. They don't want to see that. So I started out doing that and it just felt so awkward. And I don't even know how I broached the subject, but I'm like, there's this other thing that some of us are doing in clubs. Maybe you would like it, or like, I don't know if maybe I started doing it just kind of like and catching their eye so that they would see me doing it and be like, hey, let's use that instead. I don't know how I brought it in, but it wasn't what originally was going to happen. And I think between them seeing the original dance and that original song, they were like, oh my God, we are saved. Because like I said, it was a late night.
Yeah.
And they, when the producer saw me in that original makeup, he was like, it is not going to get past the ratings board. We have to do something different.
Wow. So I know that you shot a lot of that. Was there an alternate death scene at all that was filmed, or was it just the dance and exercise and stuff that changed?
Yeah, it was never shot. That original
shot.
death scene was never shot. No, I think
Okay.
they probably blocked it. So probably I just went in, and kind of, we got the setups for the camera so they could light it. And then they sent me to makeup. And when Mancuso saw the makeup, he's like, no, maybe it was Danny too. I don't know. Maybe it was the two of them, but it was decided that it would not get past the ratings board. So
Okay.
It was a quick rewrite, and that's why they had to use a pillow for my stomach, because they didn't really have time to get the FX guys on it to do something really authentic and real looking.
I tell you, sometimes you got to come up with the top of your head sometimes when you're filming a scene. You have to.
That's right. Yeah, the only thing that bothers me, because I saw that scene the other day, it's like because of the seesaw thing, I was like, well, wait, why aren't I like trying to grab at my neck and pull at his hands? As opposed to just letting myself whoop, getting picked up. It's like,
that's a valid point.
Yeah, because that seems like that's something you would do, is you'd be clawing like.
Yeah, you would.
You would be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I agree. Yeah.
See, we needed you on the set.
You did. I would have changed that. You're right.
You'd be like, stop rolling.
Hold on. We got an issue here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, guys, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to discuss Tiffany's filmography and television roles. Welcome back. Dave and I are speaking with the lovely and talented Tiffany Helm
Yep.
about her time doing Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. But Tiffany, I would love to talk about some of your other work, if that's okay.
Yeah, fire away.
So I know back in 84, you did some stuff in 83 too, correct? I think it was like Bare Essence and Likely Stories.
Yeah. With Bare Essence, yeah, that was, well, I think was hard to hold before that, I think. And I got my SAG card with the Atari ad,
Mm-hmm.
the one that I did with Deborah Foreman.
Okay.
And that was, she hadn't done Valley Girl yet, but we did the Atari ad, and that's how I got my Screen Actors Guild card.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was then Hard to Hold, because that was my first film.
Right.
And I don't remember if Likely Stories or Bare Essence, which they all kind of came around. They were very close together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bare Essence, it's like that was very exciting for me.
Mm-hmm.
And going in, because it's a full, like, it's all a set, right? It is a full set, and it's got like lots of big hot lights and the 3-camera setup for television.
Right.
And coming in through that door, it's like in that little scene was exactly how I felt. It's where she's super, super nervous. It's just very nervous, awkward model, right? That comes in and tries to read, and it's completely over the top. It was that 80s. I don't know if you guys have seen the clip. I actually have it on my fan page. It's pretty amusing. And with Jeannie Francis, who also worked with my mom on General Hospital. And yeah, and Hard to Hold, chasing Rick Springfield around while he's like in a towel. And I'm leading myself and this other young woman are leading a bunch of girls as we're chasing around screaming. And Likely Stories, I think, was in there too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little bit more experience for that. Yeah. And that one I have that on. I dug that out of some archive thing, and I have the recording of that. And you want to talk cringy? It's really super cringy and inappropriate for today's standards, as far as like some racist stuff. And it's just like,
Yeah.
BB Besh was in it, though, the wonderful, amazing BB Besh. His daughter is Samantha Mathis. And yeah, so I keep getting blessed working with all these incredible people.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those earlier things are a little cringy.
Yeah.
Well, so I got to ask, speaking of little cringy, I want to get your take on this because Dave, we love Tubi. We love
We
finding
do.
these hidden gems on Tubi. Same year as Friday the 13th, New Beginning, you're in the Zoo Gang, which is this kind of a movie. So, group of kids rent a rundown building from I think he's like a wrestler, and you guys are trying to turn it into a rock club.
That's it. Bad News Bears open a nightclub. That's kind of what we were calling it.
Yeah.
And you had 3 come out in 85, didn't you? Besides Friday the 13th, and that was OC and Stiggs.
Was OC and Stiggs too? They obviously shot very much at different times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so OC and Stiggs, I guess, probably would have come around about that same time too.
Mm-hmm. You get a
I'll
lot
tell
of
you
work
one
coming out.
thing. Yeah, I'll tell you one that I remember. I was probably maybe 12 or 13 first time I seen this on USA Up All Night. A movie called Reform Schoolgirls, where you're playing a role. It's very much like Violet, only meaner.
Yeah, she's nasty.
Fish is really mean.
Violet wasn't nasty.
No,
Just
no.
misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Yeah.
But Fish is just unpleasant. Mean.
Yeah.
She's mean.
Yeah.
Do people, like, when you go to cons? I know a lot of people are probably thinking Violet from Friday the 13th 5, but do you get like the cult classic type of people that are like, oh, Reform Schoolgirls, sign my poster?
A few. We get a few Reform Schoolgirls fans, and I have a few 8x10s stills from that. Because yeah, I'm surprised it isn't more actually, because it does have that cult status.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have a great picture of me, Wendy, and Darcy that like, yeah, why wouldn't you want that, right? So yeah, that was an interesting film to work on.
Now, had Darcy, had she already filmed her role in Friday the 13th, Jason Lives? Because we got
I
two of Jason's victims in this movie.
We do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know if had she done a Friday the 13th. You'd have to kind of look at IMDb, and again, release dates do not actually sync up with filming dates,
Right.
but you can probably like figure it out. I don't know. Darcy and I weren't close on the set, so I don't know. We didn't really have those conversations, or if we did, I honestly don't remember.
Well, I know you followed this up in what, 88 and 89. You did some TV series. One of those was 21 Jump Street,
Yeah.
a very, very popular series, I might add. And then Jeff, I know she did Freddy's Nightmares in 89.
Yeah, so Freddy's Nightmares. If you're wanting to go back and check the series out, both seasons are available on Plex right now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, with ads. But Tiffany, you're in season 2, one called Heartbreak Hotel, where you're probably playing the nicest, sweetest girl we've seen you play. Do you remember shooting that one where
Yeah,
you're
absolutely. Absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I mean the audition was fun. It was all fun. Well, I mean, and I was a nice girl in the soap that I did too. I played some nice girls.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was a nice girl in Medicine Ball and a nice girl in um the little movie of the week that I did.
would that
So
have been Sworn
The
to
One to
Vengeance?
Vengeance.
Sworn to Vengeance. I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a little scene, but just like, yeah, teenage runaway, more hapless, right? I get
Yeah.
those a lot, more just hapless. Um, but yeah, and Jump Street, yeah, I was I was like this depressed, suicidal teen,
Mm-hmm.
right? And and you also got to mention that that was one of the ones Brad Pitt guest starred on. So
Yes, it
both
Yes,
Brad
it
was.
and
is.
Johnny were on that. So that was before his big debut in Thelma and Louise, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
It's a
really
good
brought
it's a good
him.
day for young Tiffany on the set, right? Yeah.
Always. Yeah. And I did the the sitcom with John Stamos, You Again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in that I wasn't, again, I'm not mean or bad. I was just funky punky girl. So
Yeah. No, I love the role you did on Freddy's Nightmares because you've got like a bit of a country accent and you're
yeah, a little
very
southern.
very nice. Yeah, a little
Mm-hmm.
southern.
Yeah. 2 pots of coffee.
Yeah.
Here you are, sir.
She's
Chocolate
got
cake
it.
and 2 pots of coffee.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and that, did you know you're pregnant? I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
yes, sir. But yeah,
Man,
are
it's like
you
you got
married?
the script.
You
Yeah, yeah.
married?
Well, check that out.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah.
And having that baby, I blew the sound guys' eardrums out when they asked me to scream.
Oh,
Oh,
great scream in that scene.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
and they
mean,
had to tone it down and do like a little reverb on it and stuff, but they said, we want you to scream. I'm like, scream, scream? They're like, yeah, we want you to scream. I'm like, okay. And I saw the sound guy just so
Well, in my experience, you have to have someone who's performing in front of the camera actually scream because you get those facial expressions, that are very natural. And, scream, scream, sure, you need that, but yeah, you may blow out the sound guy.
yeah. Yeah, or warn sound so they can make the adjustment on their end, right?
Right,
Or
right.
flip off an earphone or something.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, that was a
no,
lot of fun to do and a great series. I loved that, and I didn't do the series, but that was out at the same time the Friday the 13th TV series was
ah,
on, and that was a great show too.
Yes, it
mhm.
Those were
was.
great shows.
Yeah. But
Yes.
I mean,
There was some
cre
good TV on then.
credit
Hmm.
where credit's due, though. You're one of the very few people that have been involved in both the Friday the 13th world and the Nightmare on Elm Street world. Not a
Yeah.
lot
True
of
story.
actors or actresses can say that. So I really
True
think that's
story.
cool.
And I got to have Freddie's baby. So
Yeah, exactly.
not a lot of actresses can say that either.
I'll tell you what, watching that recently, when they show that baby come out, I thought to myself, I can't believe this was on television, like regular television. This isn't cable. This is standard television in 1989, and they got
Yeah.
away with this because that's
Well, especially with me, with the story that I just told of that scene being changed in the film of them saying that's not going to get past the ratings board. And then they
Mhm.
do stuff like that. You're like, which is it?
Yeah.
yeah,
Right?
And one's for theater,
absolutely.
one's for TV. So it's like, okay, that doesn't balance out right, does it?
Yeah. And
No.
I mean, I think specifically the rating that we were going for with on the film had those specific restrictions on it. I think
Hmm.
like it wasn't that they weren't making movies that didn't show things. It was just that's whatever we needed to get the ratings. And I think that has to do with distribution too. I'm hearing about that with just working on the catnip and the ratings, that if you get those PG ratings, it's a lot better for like overseas distribution. And again,
Yeah.
as a director, you probably know about that,
Oh yeah,
but you have much more fun with the R stuff, right?
you do.
Because most of the big horror films now are R.
Mm-hmm.
It's most like everything's R.
Everything's
Like,
R anymore.
oh, kids can't go see it. Yeah, I'm sure. Like if I
Right.
remember asking our teenage son, oh, this one, he's like, yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I seen it, seen it. And I'm like, how are you seeing all these films? He's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's a
Stay in the
different.
dark, mom.
That's right. You stay there.
So this would take us up to about the mid to late 90s, and is this where you kind of transition to a new passion, right? With
Hmm.
photography?
Yeah. Yeah. When did I start my business? Well, I didn't start my business until after our uh eldest was born. But I was doing like fine art. It was the move to Seattle that really made that happen.
Okay.
Because there was nothing going on. I mean, I did Medicine Ball and I did the Rama game.
Hmm.
She was not nice. Francesca Sabatini, she wasn't a nice girl. She's kind of manipulative. Um, but those were the two that I did there, and there was no work for actors, and I had to do something for my keep that creative flow, and I had always wanted really to um explore photography, so I picked up a camera and started shooting, and really gravitated to doing like dark fine art, and had a few shows and sold quite a few stuff things in Seattle, and got it just involved in that whole like sub group in
Hmm.
Seattle, which is really cool. Like great town to be in that time. Um, yeah, and I pretty much hung up the like I remember when my agent was like she wasn't going to do it anymore, and I was just like, man, there's just nothing happening here. I mean, it was really difficult to shoot. Like I remember when Sylvester Stallone was wanting to shoot in Seattle for something. He was wanting to shoot on the viaduct, which is now no longer in Seattle if you ever spent time there. Um, and the city of Seattle wouldn't let him use the viaduct. They wouldn't let him shut it down,
Hmm.
being very short-sighted. Like the film commission in Seattle was terrible that way. Because when a film comes into town, like they have most of their crew, they have everybody and they get per diem, and the per diem's got to be spent, or the cast and crew get taxed on it.
Right.
So wherever you're shooting, whatever town you're shooting on, all that money is going to go into that town. So it's really lucrative to have a film. I mean, it could be a pain in the butt because things will get shut down, traffic will be changed, but for the most part, people think it's really cool.
Hmm.
They're like, yeah, our town. I mean, the place we live in now, we had a major production. We had a few major productions here, and people think it's really this cool talking point.
It is.
So it's very lucrative to have a film crew in your town, but the problem is that Seattle Film Commission made it so difficult for um, companies to come in that most film production companies just go to Canada,
Hmm.
where it can look exactly like Seattle. Like they do some of they'll send like their second unit to shoot some exteriors in Seattle to get the Seattle vibe. But then they'll shoot the rest of it in Canada, and they get the exchange rate and a lot more amenable to crews coming in.
Hmm.
So Seattle lost on that one, which is a shame. I've seen a few projects. I think maybe they've gotten a little better over the years, but
Hmm.
it's still tough because is a great place to shoot, but they just have not made it very enticing for film companies.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So I just pretty much gave it up at that point.
Yeah.
Took over photography full time.
Well, it's kind of the similar boat that I'm in. I picked up a camera and just started shooting one day and then I just fell in love with photography.
Hmm.
So tell us a little bit about your Rascal photo and design.
Well, initially it started out as again, I do a lot my favorite is conceptual pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can spend like days on Photoshop doing conceptual pieces. Definitely not my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
When we were in Seattle, I just started doing mainly portraiture, with a smattering of weddings, and it was really nice. We had kind of a nice setup where my husband was officiating and I was shooting, and then he would join me as a second shooter for the rest of the reception.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked out very well. And I loved doing portraiture. I loved shooting like kids, artists, musicians, usually subjects that are really, or the women who are, my favorite were the women who are like, I don't look good in pictures. I'm really not photogenic. I don't. And those are my favorite to shoot
Mm-hmm.
because it's, I mean, yes, I guess there are certain people who just naturally look great on camera, but it's so much more interesting to work with somebody who's not necessarily comfortable in front of a camera and then turn around and give them their shots and they're like, oh my God, like
Right.
these are really good. And you're like, well, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's kind of what I did was the portraits. And when we moved to Canada, it's super competitive where we're living, like crazy competitive. Nothing like the States. Because it's a small, like very attractive tourist town.
Mm-hmm.
So it attracts a lot of money, a lot of professionals, like high end professionals. So I've never really been able to get purchase here with the portraiture. I mean, I still do it and I still do the odd jobs and things, but again, to fill that creative thing,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was like, well, all the, you know, projects that are shooting in Canada, maybe I'll see about getting an agent here too. And I'm a dual citizen, so
Oh, there you go.
Works
sounds
out
like a
nice.
sounds like a good thing because anytime an American film production company comes to Canada, one of the things is they have to hire a certain amount of Canadian actors and crew.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nice.
part of the deal.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can take advantage of that. So I got an agent, yeah, and like booked 3 films, boom, 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 right off the bat. So yeah, and got quiet around COVID and now back
Yeah.
about to work on an American film production and yeah, like that. So I'm still doing my pictures. I just wherever I can get my creative Jones in.
Yeah. I was perusing your website, and one of the things that you said on there, you said my approach to photography has always been about connecting to life, an articulation of dreams and expression of spirit. Although the camera only sees in 2 dimensions, it is a powerful catalyst through which souls unite and the true beauty of all living things is revealed. That's absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
Um,
Absolutely.
it really is. When I read that, I just like, wow, she is absolutely correct with that. I fell in
thank
love with
you.
photography, and if you're not behind the camera and you've never captured that perfect image, and you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
when you capture it and you just fall in love with it, if you've never been behind the camera, you don't understand that, you
yeah,
know? And for me, when I go to events and stuff like that, and you get that perfect light, you get that perfect, position of somebody, and you capture that and you're showing people and oh that looks beautiful, but you as a photographer you realize you're on cloud nine, right?
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
no one else understands that but the photographer.
Yeah,
But no, that's
yeah.
absolutely beautiful what you said there. It really really is, and it shows you how much you love and appreciate that photography.
Yeah, and for years I was like, oh, this is even more satisfying than being on the other end of the camera. And
Hmm.
now it's kind of switching again, and it's like I've found that that one doesn't have to be exclusive.
Hmm.
I can find joy on both sides.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get too much into the business end of photography, though, it does start getting like, oh God.
It takes it
Like
away.
that's why I just dabble in weddings. I don't go at it
Hmm.
too aggressively because that can be pretty intense.
Yes it
And
can.
those are long days and lots of personalities. Um, where like so much of me just wants to go and like follow the kids around and just shoot the kids all day. I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, can I just take pictures of them instead?
Absolutely. I completely understand that for
Yeah,
sure.
because the kids they reveal themselves or photographing animals or
Yeah.
yeah. And unfortunately, I mean it's, like I said, my conceptual stuff
Hmm.
is, doesn't earn me money, but it really, really fills me. And
Yeah.
it's so much fun. Like I have some pieces where I'm just like, damn, like yeah. I mean, and it's again, it's putting in all these different pieces and
Hmm.
I hate AI for taking that from us.
Yeah, I know.
Um, I mean, it's not there yet for the stuff that I'm doing, but like I have one of my favorite Halloween pictures because I usually do a Halloween post, but I have one of it's a monster in a living room watching aliens and his little pet frog is by his side and it's this old 70s living room. It's on the website if you're on there. And I
Mhm.
absolutely loved building this thing, and it was all by scratch. Like
Nice.
I was like for the monster, I'm finding. How did I find the monster? It was like um, pictures of tubing. I think I was looking for different tubing, and I
Hmm.
found the right tubing, and I'm like, okay, those can be like his eye stalks. And I
Okay.
started. So it was really like so organically put together.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, oh, an AI, I can just be like prompts, monster in 70s retro living room watching aliens on old style TV. And, I'm just like, blech,
Yeah, that's no fun. Yuck.
blech.
No, thank you.
No. So, I mean, I think that it's also, it's going one way and it'll come back because
It
and
will.
I've heard AI been called boomer art,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
Like the younger generation are like, psh, no, thank you. They're
Good.
interested in like the practical effects. They're interested in like the old. Well, my son is in film school now, and his
All
like
right.
the coveted unicorn film camera. This like they brought it out, and it's this big Aeroflex, right? And he's
Oh,
just
Nice.
like,
Okay.
nice.
oh, and he gets to use it. And he's so excited. Like, and
Yeah.
all of everything he does is like he uses film, and he'll use like old 80s, like those camcorders, and um, it's yeah, the young people don't want the AI.
That's
Like,
good.
I
like
gotta say that's
it's
when you hear about all these movies being shot with like iPhones now, it is so refreshing to hear that kids are using something like an Aeroflex and they're using
Hmm.
yeah.
these old JVC cameras.
Yeah, they really, I mean, and it'll be divided. It's like everything will be available to us, and
Hmm.
when I see that Lionsgate's making some deal with an AI company to start shooting some AI films. So I mean
Yuck.
there'll be something for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's gonna go one side and then it's gonna come back because artists are always going to be creating art.
Always.
And if you're just feeding words into a computer, I'm sorry, you are not an artist.
Nope.
So
You're not.
you can be a business person, you can be a filmmaker, but you're not an artist if you're doing that.
Right. Yeah.
My opinion, say it loud and proud.
No, I'm with you on that one. Absolutely. 100%. So I've got to ask you, what's your favorite lens you use?
I have two 2.8s. One is the 28 to 70 and the other
Okay.
is the 70 to 200,
Hmm.
shooting on Nikon. Um, yeah, those are really it. I mean, I have my 50, the poor man's lens. It's like it's a 50 like 1.8. It's a cheap lens and it's
Still.
great. Like for
Hmm.
boudoir, it's
Yeah.
like it's the best little lens and
Hmm.
it's like one of the best kept secrets. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love this little thing. I think it's like actually a 2.8 or something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's that's what's in my bag. What's in
Nice.
your bag?
I have an 80 millimeter, which is just like your 50. It was really
Nice.
cheap and it's one of my best lenses. It's crazy.
That's a
It,
beautiful portrait lens.
it
An
is. That's what I
80.
use it for, is portrait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful lens for that. But I do have a 70 to 200 millimeter in my bag because when I
Yeah.
go to events, you know, you
Yeah.
need that
Yeah.
zoom in and out. You
Yeah.
need that flexibility when you're going to those events.
For sure.
You know, because 80 millimeter is the prime lens, so you have to move around,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but still gives great portrait work. So those are usually in there, and I do have a 27 to 70 millimeter lens in my bag too. So I've got the range, you know,
Nice.
that I do. I do have a 600, but I barely use it.
Wow.
You know, nature photography I'll
For
do
the bears.
sometimes.
It's for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
bears.
Exactly. The bears and stuff like that. But yeah, no. So pretty much it's similar what's in our bags.
That's
Absolutely.
cool. Right
Yeah.
on. Right
Yeah.
on.
Good deal.
Yeah.
If we could jump back into your film work for a quick minute.
So I know you've done some recent projects. You did like Red Letter Day, I believe, back in 2019, where you played Nicole Morris.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that movie.
Great premise. I don't know if you've seen it. It's absolutely an outstanding premise. It's very believable. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously what happens in the film is not believable as it's a horror film. But the premise, you're like, yeah, I could see that happening, with the people turning on each other,
Yeah.
um, by receiving these letters that their neighbor wants to kill them. That's
Yeah.
basically it. It's like, what would you do? Right.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, it was so much fun to work on.
Hmm.
And yeah, director also a Friday fan. They give a tribute to Violet in the beginning of it, where yeah, where the son is like kind of peekabooing at the neighbor's daughter, right? And
Hmm.
she's doing this dance topless, and it's a dance like the one Violet does.
Nice.
So yeah, the director was wearing a Jason pin on the set. So he's like, Tiff, hey, hey. I'm like, cool.
Perfect.
So yeah, it was really fun. Absolutely wonderful crew.
Yeah.
I was just it was a very short shoot. Again, like
Hmm.
some of those indie films are quick.
Yeah.
Um, but it's so I mean, I was bummed I was only there one day because I would have loved to just stay on that set. It
Yeah.
was great.
They have to move quick, don't they? They got them small budgets. They have to move
Yep,
fast. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm sure you
Yep.
know all about it.
I do. Absolutely.
Every second is money, money, money.
Yep. Yep.
And now that same year, you're in one of the more intense Stephen King films to come out. I'm
Hmm.
talking about In the Tall Grass. I
Hmm.
think it was a Netflix original. Man, what a spooky film.
Yes, it
You
was.
liked it.
I
Yes.
loved it.
Love that
Cool.
movie.
That was actually, that was fun.
Hmm.
So that was the same casting director who had cast me in Come True had given me that one and or that audition. A lot of fun with that audition. And you never think about that though when you see that, when you see these little like no lines or anything,
Hmm.
and someone just doing like a look. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was an audition. I actually had to send them 3 takes of doing this back and forth to the smoking thing and these responses. Yeah, it's funny. And the set was amazing. Again, I went from, when I worked on Come True, it was an absolute skeleton crew. It was
Hmm.
like literally 3 people
Oh, wow.
on as who was there. It was like the makeup person, the director and the producer.
It's one of my
Basically, that
sets.
was that was it. And I mean, and he did some of his shots like from a grocery cart, and he's genius. Like, I don't know
Mm,
if you've seen that, but like the post editing, his stuff is amazing. Um, so go big or go small. It's like,
yeah.
but the Netflix sets are like, whoa. So very busy. And the gas station that I come out of was the set dressing was amazing. I wanted to just spend like the day in it and look at it, like every little detail. And you never really see the inside of that garage,
No.
but it looks like what you'd expect it to look like on the inside. Like it was not like a set where there's nothing behind, nothing, those like facade sets,
Yeah.
nothing like that. It was this garage and they had fully redone it to look like this old garage in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
like the detail is phenomenal on those because I mean, they have the budget to do whatever. And I'm sure the set dressers just have so much fun, like finding things like, oh my God, look what I got today. We can put this in this scene. It'll be great. So when it was connected to Come True, it was like the same producers. I mean, Vincenzo Natali was like, I think he had a producer credit on Come True. And yeah, they were interconnected. Like a lot of the same production crew was on Come True. So again, it was all tied to, and it was tied to Friday the 13th. They're all Friday fans, like the horror
Of
fans.
course. Yeah. We're
So
everywhere.
everywhere. So I mean, and it was fun. It was, I felt a little bit ripped off on that because that was everybody's last day shooting in Alberta. So everybody was like ready to go home.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah. So there really wasn't that, like, I don't know. It's like working on films is always fun because it gets to be like a real family vibe.
Right.
And I think people just wanted to go home. They were tired. And Laisla, the star, the woman in it, she's showing me, I mean, it's like there were like 12 of those little blue dresses that she had to wear. And she was talking about some of the conditions. She's like, oh yeah, like the people that the grass people or whatever that come out. So it sounded like it was a pretty intense and physically taxing shoot. And I know Vincenzo was feeling a little under the weather the day I was out there. So it was, and then that I had the scary, the scary honor of trying to get out of there. Cause it's like, if you've ever been to Alberta, they're like these like zones where there's just nothing. It's just miles and miles of the same. Well, you see stuff like that in the Midwest where it's just like field after field after field. And and nothing, like no like street markers, like there, rural route number 873 or whatever, but you can't. So these little patches in Alberta, and I have a really bad sense of direction anyway. And I remember, and it went late, like even though I was there early, it was a classic hurry up and wait. So my scene ended up not getting shot till the end of the day. And I remember a woman there like saying, you better get on the road now because it's like the navigation equipment doesn't even work out here. And I'm like, oh,
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, I was really scared because I'm like, I try to think of that. Okay, so if I went right, left, I'm going to go right, left, like trying to think backwards on the directions.
Yeah.
And somehow I got out of there, but I was really, and coming in was the most wicked fog I'd ever seen. I actually had to pull over. I could not see, like the idea of following the car in front of you. I couldn't even see the car in front of me. The fog was so bad. It was one of the most harrowing rides into work and back. And I was just like, oh my God, what have I just done? But I was super excited to be on anything associated with Stephen King.
Absolutely.
And the cool thing was too, and this is one of the things I love about Canada. I was actually at the climbing gym and I got a call directly from the casting director. She's like, Tiffany, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, did I catch you at a bad time? She's like, I know this is not professional or anything, but like that film production company, it was delayed and this and that, but they really loved you and they want you for that part. And I was like, oh, sweet. I mean, usually it's a whole, like, I don't know, it's a hierarchy that it comes through, like the agency and we're talking negotiations, but this was cool. The casting director was just like, yeah, they love you. We want you. I was like, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's my In the Tall Grass story.
And you mentioned Come True, which you did in 2020, correct?
Yep.
And
no, that was before. It might have been released then, but it was.
Okay, but you filmed it before.
Yeah.
Before In the Tall Grass. Gotcha. How did that go? What was the experience on that one?
They were actually pretty close. In fact, I made a joke about it when I met the producer in the Tall Grass. And I was like, we were talking about it, and I'm like, so it was actually quite a bit before before In the Tall Grass, but I was like, so how's like post editing going and and he kind of laughed and he's like, Well, he said this will probably come out before Come True does. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because again, it's the one director, Anthony Scott Burns,
Mhm.
who's really a one-man wrecking crew. I mean, he did the music, he did the editing, he wrote the story, he did the directing. He wasn't the main producer. That's about the only thing. And he didn't do makeup, but
Yeah.
he does like everything.
Mm,
So the post editing was super painstaking.
I'm sure. And that sounds like my avenue, doing everything with editing and all that kind of stuff.
If you
So
can, that's what my
yeah,
son wants to do.
it's
He
fun
wants to
though.
do everything.
It's just like photography. If you have a love for it, you're going to just take it and it takes over your life,
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
you get done with it, it's just like getting that perfect picture. You
Yeah.
get to see it and you're like, wow, that I can't believe I did that. So I get that. I do.
Dave, let's take one last break. And when we come back, we are going to be discussing Tiffany's upcoming work. Stay tuned. So, Tiffany, you have a new horror film going into production this coming February. And last month, not only were you kind enough to join us and discuss the project, you brought along your mother, famed actress Brooke Bundy, your co producer, David Thomas Newman, and the director, Niall Cavazos Garcia, to talk about Catnip. Listeners, if you missed that one, go back to last month and check it out. It was an excellent conversation with the cast and crew. Now, Tiffany, Niall's not here with us today, and I don't want to get you in trouble, but what can you tell us about Catnip?
I can share that it is a story of these people trapped in this apartment building um, with these insane killer cats.
Nice. I like it.
So we are using all practical effects.
Ooh, so real
We have,
cats?
yeah, we're using real cats, not only real cats, real rescued cats.
Oh, are you
Oh, that is
serious?
They're
awesome.
all rescued cats.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
they're going to, after this, we have this lovely animal trainer who I have multiple conversations with because you got to say it because, we will always tell you, we always will tell you that when we're vegan, like, how do you know I'm vegan? They're going to tell you, well, I'm going to tell you now, I'm vegan. So there was an issue with like people wanting to know, really, you're doing this movie about killer cats and you're vegan? I'm like, heck yeah. I
Mhm.
said, these cats are going to be treated amazingly. Well, first of all, you can't train a cat with fear and intimidation. They
No, you
just
can't.
be like, screw you, and I'm going to take your eyes for good measure,
Right.
right? So no, Cheryl is like, she's going to shelters and handpicking these cats because they have to be able to, there's only certain cats that are very trainable.
Hmm.
But Willie, our lead cat, who's only got one eye,
Oh.
he's going to be the main bad kitty. So, and he's beautiful. I'm gonna have to see him with his makeup on because he's just this gorgeous tuxedo cat.
Awesome.
Um,
I
we
saw
have,
his picture on Instagram,
did you?
and
He's
if he's the
handsome
main bad
boy.
guy, yeah, he is going to be an awesome villain. I can
Love
tell
it.
you that much.
Yeah, he's a handsome boy, and we're gonna have Monster the dog, and I won't give away if anything happens to the dog or not. Because that's you always wonder. It's like every horror movie when you see the dog in the first shot, you're like, oh God, the dog is gonna get it at some
Yeah, you know
point.
it.
The
Yeah.
cuter and sweeter the dog, the worse it's gonna be.
Uh,
Um, and unless the Tarantino
Right.
film. So anyway, but Catnip, we're actually one of the really, really cool things about Catnip is I'm gonna be working with my mom,
Oh,
Brooke Bundy.
nice.
So she was approached first by the director, and she was even hesitating for a few reasons, but one of the things she was afraid to tell me, she's like, oh, my daughter will kill me if she knows I'm doing this movie about killer cats. I'm like, oh my God, it sounds amazing. So I reached out to the director and I was like, I want to support this film any way I can. And so I had been working on promoting it, and he asked me if I wanted to audition for a part in it, and I was like, well, duh, yeah. And because I read the script, I'm like, this script is so good. It's really, really good.
Hmm,
It's just got all the right stuff in it. I mean,
nice.
it's got the kills, it's super gory, but it's super funny.
Mhm.
It's got some very tender moments, and it's great. Niall is a wonderful writer, and I'm really excited about working with him. Well, I have been working. We've been full
Yeah.
scale pre-production. So then, on top of getting this role, he asked me if I wanted to be an associate producer.
Oh,
All right.
So I'm part of the core team of associate producers. I think there's like 12 of us. So it's going to be very interesting because Niles is self-proclaimed not a cat lover.
oh no.
I'm like, I'm
Oh
like,
no.
really? How is this going to work?
Oh
So it's
no,
going
of
to
all
be very
movies.
interesting. But Cheryl is going to be managing the cats, and we have a great effects team. Like it, and if you go onto the Catnip website, you can see all of his reels too, like top-notch stuff. So we're calling, I mean, it's kind of like Got a Gremlins, but for adults feel. That's how I've heard a lot of people say it. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of it. Modern Gremlins with adult feel, but it's also got that kind of throwback horror feel to it. And we're going to be more cast members have been announced every couple of weeks. And I guess Niall told me that we're going to be taking out an ad in Variety and stuff soon
Hmm.
in the next couple of weeks with announcements of more cast members. And I think we're going to have some good names, some good horror names in there. And we think this is going to be really, really good. And if you guys want us back on the show as a team, because Niall and my mom and I have been doing these podcasts, and I call them podcasts, right?
Mhm.
Come on, come on,
Paul.
come on.
I got you. I
Podcasts.
got you,
Listeners,
Paul
she
Cat.
had her, yeah, listeners, she had her paws up
We
as
got
she
you.
was saying that. It's
Like
fantastic.
I'm like, man, tough crowd, tough
No, we
crowd.
got you.
I have so many cat puns. My favorite, like the feline is mutual, right? There you go.
Oh wow.
And well, then the tagline for this is the end is meow. So
Yeah. Now you mentioned Gremlins. Is it? I've read. Is Catnip gonna be like a Christmas themed horror film? Does it take place during
yes, it
Christmas?
takes place on Christmas.
Oh
So
man.
we're looking for a Halloween 2025 release.
Okay.
Okay,
But
perfect.
it's going to be right at that cusp, just like Nightmare Before Christmas, where it's in that sweet spot. So it gets
Yeah.
the Halloween people and it gets the Christmas people and it gets the cat lovers and the cat haters. So there's something for everybody in this, and it's going to be a gas to work on. I'm so excited, and Niall's gonna let me photograph as well when I'm not working.
Oh,
So I get to
fantastic.
get
Awesome.
pictures on the set, which is very different than like the Netflix shows because they're like, you can't share
Right.
anything about the show or who's on it or take any pictures. Really, like when I did Under the Banner, I was in my dressing room. I'm like looking around to see if I'm like, because I just wanted a picture in my ensemble because
Mhm.
Sure.
it's a period piece. I'm like, oh my God, I look amazing. And so I got like some selfies of myself. And I mean, the only ones I would send it to my agent. I'm like, you can't share this with anybody. Nobody. They'll come after me. They're gonna kill me. But they're so like you cannot share any of that information. So it's so much fun to be working on a project where they're like, yes, share it, promote
Mhm.
it, tell everybody about it. So
You know,
Well,
you really got me hooked. I'm excited for that film because
excellent,
one, I'm a cat lover, so I'm in that bucket.
right?
Two, I'm very excited to hear that they're using rescues. That there's so many cats out there who need a good home. They need to be
It's
saved and
yeah,
loved. And the
yep.
fact that you guys are doing that, that is absolutely outstanding. So kudos to you guys for doing that. I wish I
Well,
could go get all the cats and save them, but you just can't, you know?
no, and I can go even further when I was talking with the animal trainer about it. So they have a bunch of the cats at their studio.
Hmm.
And now some of these cats, she said there were all these strays around. So she just ended up taking them in. Like so I mean, not all of them are like industry working acting cats.
Right.
Some of them are just like just freeloading like strays, but she's taken them in. She's like because the problem and bless her heart for going into these shelters because now she's got the assignment of picking animals that are going to be trainable for certain scenes, right? And
Hmm.
certain things that they can do. So she can't take them all, but she
Right.
has to go see all of them. And she's like, I mean, and there's the PSA for the day, man. The shelters are busting at the seams,
Yes, they
dogs
are.
and cats, and
Hmm.
all these people who got all these animals during COVID and were
Hmm.
like, yeah, let's get an animal because we're stuck inside the house and we have nothing else to do. It's like, and now people are back in their lives and they don't have time for these animals and they're relinquishing them,
Yep.
or they got a breed that is not suitable for their personality. And
Hmm.
it's really bad, man. Just adopt, don't shop.
Yes, I agree.
It's, and there are so many purebreds out there. If you want
Hmm.
some purebred, bet you can find one as a rescue. Like
I agree.
I've worked rescue too. I worked for a rescue organization
Good for you.
and I mean, I've had my share of dogs that have come from breeders, but I
Hmm.
never ever will again after
No.
working rescue. And
Mm-mm.
it's the problem is not getting any better.
Yeah.
So and what is it? If you adopt, don't shop, and if you can't adopt, foster, and if you can't
Yep.
foster, volunteer, and if you can't volunteer, donate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I had a 12-year-old cat who passed away back in June,
Mm,
and I knew I needed another one because, again, so many animals out there who need a good home. So about 3 weeks after my cat had passed away, I went and adopted another one. And there's so many in there. I want all of you come with
yeah,
me, but you just can't.
you can't. And
No.
it's yeah, I mean, and fostering is really great. Like we had
Hmm.
our dog had passed quite a few years ago, and it was a way of getting through my grief. Was I fostered,
Yeah.
and it was like a lifesaver for me,
Hmm.
and it was great for the pups, and we ended up keeping one of the fosters. They
Yeah.
say it's a foster fail, but I call it a foster
No,
success.
that's a foster success in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's
Absolutely.
so we have our kitty and our pup are both rescues.
Awesome.
So yeah, there's my spiel about the rescue. So yeah, and Catnip is we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, just started a little bit on TikTok and Twixter as I call it. Um and whatever the other one is, and Facebook.
Yeah.
So we're, and of course the website, and
Yeah.
hopefully starting to book conventions and such like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Well,
So
we'll show
yeah.
the crap out of it. Don't worry.
Oh, you guys are the best.
We
Absolutely.
will.
And
Yeah.
let's hopefully we can get the Catnip crew
Yeah.
to some cons on the East Coast. Like I said, we would love to have you at Scarefest. We'd love to have you at Horror Hound.
That would
Hmm.
be amazing. Yeah,
Galaxy Con. Let's see you, you know.
if
Yeah.
you guys are, like I said, if you have any connection with the promoters, because we think, I mean, I know probably lots of filmmakers think this, but we really think this is going to be a big one because
Hmm.
nobody's done cats before. Just the old school filming that's
Hmm.
really that people are really eating up right now.
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of
They
it.
want that look, the
Hmm.
practical effects.
We want to get the word out there for y'all about it because I'm big time behind this for sure.
Okay.
Now, Tiffany, post Catnip, are there any projects you want to talk about? Anything you can share with us? What's
Um,
coming afterward?
Well, I'm working with a screenwriter out of Utah who, after seeing Come True, and he's been a friend of mine on Facebook for a while, and and he's a photographer, he's a drone photographer, like amazing stuff, gets like all the old like paintings in Utah and the rocks and stuff, the rock art,
Nice.
but he does like amazing stuff. Anyway, he's like, I want to write a script like with you as the bad guy, the villain. And I'm like, oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
So he wrote it, and I mean, I can't remember how many drafts we have, and he got it registered and everything. Right now it's getting a bit of an overhaul, but that's something that I'm hoping gets up and going in the next couple of years at least. So I'm waiting for whatever he has next. So that is going to be probably called Evelyn, like
Hmm.
kind of Evelyn.
Evelyn.
So
Okay.
Nice.
Evelyn. And again, a very interesting and kind of unique story. So, and yeah, I get to be it's actually the weapon of choice is one of those school paper cutter blades.
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah, that's and yeah, and her counterpart, a woman who's Navajo, uses these like the like elk antler things.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, so that could be fun. And then I
Yeah.
actually got a thing from because I looked on my IMD, I'm like, oh, I called my manager because he had sent me a script. This is my manager that I got in LA now, for a project called The Summoning. So he, I think, is going to be producing that, and he wants me to be part of it.
mhm.
So that's listed on my IMDb as pre-production.
Yeah,
So, and that's about, summoning possession, of course. We love that theme.
of course we do.
It's in right
We
now.
love it. So we got the slasher, Evelyn, but it's more like psychological horror. They're all character driven. Like the Catnip, I'm like, I don't know how you did it now, but like I really love all these characters, even the buffoons and stuff. But there's nobody. The nice thing in Catnip is there's nobody that you want to get it. I mean, because it always seems like in horror movies, they're people that you're just like, oh man, they're so punchable, they're so killable. They need like get them good,
Yep,
and
yep.
not because they're bad guys, but just because they're just so unlikable.
Mhm.
And all the characters in this are so likable,
Nice.
which makes it so it's going to tug at your heartstrings a little bit.
You got me so excited for this.
But it's harsh on the
Oh.
kitties, man. I'm like, I don't know how you're going to do some of this stuff with these cats. Because there's a lot of, it's a high body count on both the human and the cat side. So it gets ugly.
Oh boy.
It
Well,
does.
as we wrap up, Tiffany, I got to ask you one last question here. You are wearing a very kick-ass Soundgarden t-shirt.
She is.
Question
Love
is,
it.
do you have a favorite album? Do you have a favorite song by the band?
Oh God, so many. It's been my thing for all the podcasts. I'm just doing like band shirts. I
Nice.
always it's really simple because I have so many as opposed to staring in my closet like, what am I gonna wear? I should wear something nice. I'm like, band shirts, that'll just be my thing. So today it's
Perfect.
Soundgarden. Do I have a favorite? I don't have a favorite. I gotta say for albums, I would say probably Down on the Upside, I'm guessing.
Good choice.
It is a good choice.
Super Unknown. I love Bad Motorfinger.
Mhm.
And I mean, again, and I was in Seattle. I actually got to see them. Was it for the Down on the Upside tour, I think? And got to see him in Seattle. Chris had just cut his hair, but
Yep.
still looked amazing, right? He can
Of
he can
course.
rock any look. And I remember the day that I got the news about his passing, and
Yeah.
it took me months to get over that one, like really, and it felt like so much like part of like Seattle died. It was like the day Seattle died to me. And my husband got this framed picture of him from The Stranger, which is a Seattle paper.
Mhm.
So it's this great photo of him from when that happened. And then I got this other artist because I was part of this Facebook group that we were all just grieving like in droves. We just could not wrap our heads around it. And there was an artist who was doing these like paintings of him or drawings. I don't even know what the medium is. And he was basically just giving them away. And it's these beautiful painting. So we have that framed, and I found my old ticket stub for when I saw them and put that in there. Yeah, and I have a bracelet that says no one sings like you anymore. And what about you guys? What are you saying are your favorite?
For me, it'd probably be Bad Motorfinger,
Bad Motor.
but
Yep. Yeah. There's no
but
doubt.
I did have I was fortunate enough to catch them at Lollapalooza a long time
Oh,
ago, and
wow.
Chris had come out. He apologized before they even started the first song. He said, "I apologize. I think I've got the flu, but I'm not sure, but I'll do my best." And his voice was just beautiful, just
Still
an
better.
incredible experience.
Wow.
Mhm.
What year was that?
That would have been gosh, I don't want to date myself too bad here, but it would have been late 90s. Like Lollapalooza was still a thing, but it was starting to fade out a little bit. That was the one where they were co-headlining with Metallica. And
Okay.
I gotta say they were the show to watch that weekend.
Wow. Yeah, I was at one of the last Lollapaloozas when it was Tool and
Mhm.
Orb and Tricky. Like,
Good
well, I
lineup.
mean, after Tool, because I was like, who the hell's gonna come after Tool? It was the Orb. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Orb. They were
I have not.
amazing. I was like, my mind was blown by them. Very different, but yeah, like following up Tool. It's like, how do you even do that? But yeah,
I-
so huge loss
Yes,
losing
it
Chris
was.
Cornell. We've lost so many. We still have Eddie. Yay, Eddie. Keep with it, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love them, love his solo stuff. Definitely one of my favorites.
Listeners, we've been talking with Tiffany Helm, and we've been talking about Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, among other things. Let us know what you think of this one. Let us know what you think about Tiffany's other work. Let us know on social media. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, X. You can check out afilmbypodcast.com for all of our film and TV articles and our entire library, which is streaming free. You can write to us at afilmbypodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and concerns. We may just read your response on the show and send you some of our A Film By swag. Tiffany, it has been an absolute blast
Yes, it
having
has.
a conversation with you, and I'm already looking forward to having you back with Brooke, with Niall, the whole
Yep.
Catnip gang.
Right
Bring the
on.
cats.
Bring the
Yeah.
cats.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm like, we need to have Willie on one of these too.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be
yeah. If we could get
great?
Willie
We could have
on, yeah,
Willie.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he's quite there yet, but
yeah.
I like the idea.
And
Yeah.
Dave, hey, they're the cameras aren't rolling yet. Maybe it's not too late for Dodger to send in an
Get a
audition
Dodger out,
tape.
send him out there. Hey,
There you
yeah.
go. Send
Yeah.
in a self-tape.
Yeah. All
I need to
right.
get him out there to work.
Absolutely.
That's right. Stop freeloading,
Exactly.
cats.
Yeah. Listeners, please check out all the links for Catnip. Their website will have all of that in our show notes. And we, of course, want to wish you a very happy Friday the 13th. We thank you for listening.
Thanks.
Thank you.